Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to some more irae. Let's pick it up where we left and... No, I can't, okay. But it didn't get to the club, it was already past midnight. And it was cold. Roscoe promised to wait until morning had long passed. It might have already been too late, but she no longer had an intention of keeping it. She would not hand the school swastika over to her. Well, good luck with that, I guess. Impatience had thrown her thoughts into complete disorder. Regardless of her desire not to hand over the territory to another, she felt an irresistible compulsion to head toward the school. She couldn't understand what that mysterious feeling was. Did it stem from her fear that Lady Samuel could very well execute her on the spot for the incompetence she had displayed over these past few days? Maybe. Or was it something else entirely? That's rude. Her own words made her wince. It was both exasperating and admirable how he kept worrying about so many people. She still couldn't believe he had fallen for her little trick so easily. She was aware of his dislike for her, and the feeling was certainly mutual, but in that case, why couldn't she just leave him be? Because you mistake your feelings. Had he been simply a naive fool, that could be another matter, but from what she had been seen so far, he appeared neither dim-witted nor insensitive to danger. Quite the contrary, in fact. Despite his apparent stupidity, she still couldn't get a good read on him. I think I was actually a bit too far away from Mike just a second ago, sorry. Anyway, he couldn't have changed his mind about her just because they happened to exchange a word or two over the night, could he? Well, he could change mind, because you exchanged something different. No, that's not what you think. Well, it could happen, but no, that's not it. Well, at any rate, it didn't matter at the moment. She had to hurry to the school as soon as possible. The place was hers to claim. She wouldn't hand it over to anyone, nor would she allow it to be destroyed. In that sense, she was lucky that they closed the school today. In that case, ordinary students wouldn't come, meaning they could avoid unnecessary deaths, which would allow Ren to fight with no reservations. Kay clicked her tongue, not knowing why her thoughts had gone down that path. Just then. How the fuck are you outside? Kay found herself taken aback for a second, confused by the other girl's presence. The school is closed. Are you retarded? Why? It made no sense. The school was closed. What was she planning to do over there? Well, she's retarded. Actually, why was she also drawn to the school? Okay. You know, no matter how you look at it, who in their right mind, even if not their right mind, would go to school? Who would have a feeling I have to go to school? No one! I mean, only some crazy bastards, but aside from that, no one! You had the feeling to go to school? Come on, it disappears after 5 seconds! No. You are crazy. There were easily over 30 texts displayed on Kasumi's phone. They were probably all from Kasumi's friends, yet despite each message being sent from a different person, they all contained the exact same text. I'm going to school tomorrow. See you there, Kasumi! And she's... You know, Kasumi should write, what the hell are you talking about? The school is closed! Are you retarded? Yeah, that's what she should reply. Check the fucking website and you will know! I think you should check the website, damn it! Have you heard of the website of your school? Damn it!
それって童話だよね。どんな内容なのかは知らないけど。
These people really are stupid.
それがどうか
Sorry
したの
about hitting the mic.
いや。
Indeed, that was famous but surprisingly few knew the actual story. Okay. Let me butt in again. First of all, I've never heard of the thing, so I also don't know the story. So it is not famous, at least in Poland. At least in Poland. I guess. Or I'm just not that informed. Anyway, it was a tale of mice and children in the city who were all ruled by the sound of the village flute, but only to be whisked away. Let's explain that story again, like previously in the first route. Whether they were conscious of it or not, no one could oppose its melody. And there was an even lesser known Slavic tale with a similar premise. Oh yeah. About a demonic incarnation of death that used its enchanted song to lure unsuspecting travelers to a water grave. I know that one. I mean, that's a common thing. Even in Poland, there was a book about that stuff. I think it was a lecture in school, actually. You know, like the book that you need to read in order to kind of pass. Well, it might be on an exam or something like that, so yeah. If I don't even remember the title now. It was so long ago. The witch known as Rusalka. They were already under her spell. It didn't matter whether school was closed or not. Come on, you could just check the browser and check the website and you see, oh, the school is closed. Ah, fuck it, I'm sleeping. Why would I get up if the school is closed? Thank you. Those who had come into contact with her ever, even once, were being drawn to her by an irresistible force, only to be imprisoned. On the other hand, if Rusalka told me, hey, I'm at school, will you join me? I would probably go. All were drawn to the witch's hunting grounds, to the bottom of a cold, dark lake. Indeed, the Kisnacht had already begun, its sacrifices summoned in droves. However, go home. Go home. At the very least, there was still a chance to bring her to the senses. There was nothing stopping her from releasing one out of hundreds, and that wouldn't cause the stigmata implanted in case bodies react. And so the fate of the girl before her was now in case hands. A single word from her could decide between life and death for Kasmi. Alright, what I'm going to say is not nice. Okay, please hit her, she will go sleep and get her back to the club and everything will be happy, everyone will be happy, you'll just go fight.
やっぱり桜井さんってば怒ってる。私があんまりしつこく疑うから気分悪くしちゃったのかな。
Then you should have not knocked. That's how it should be.
いや、本当にごめんね。レンの彼女だからとかそんなの関係なしにしても、私桜井さんと仲良くなりたいし、だから嫌われると痛いなっていうか。
Only if you won't go to school.
許して。
Can you say that? Say what I just told you.
ねえ、ごめんってば。平気よ。本当？
No.
ええ。別に気にしてないわ。
Don't allow her to go to school, okay? Indeed, Kay wasn't really bothered. It didn't matter what happened to this girl or how Fuji felt about the whole thing. People had their priorities. Sentimental notions of being able to save everyone didn't apply in the real world. Kay knew that better than anyone. Which was why she... You bitch! You never listened to me, right?
そうだったら女同士朝まで一緒に遊ぼうよ。カラオケでもゲーセンでも漫画喫茶でも。私、桜井さんといっぱい話したいし。
Well, I guess if Kay suggested strip club, she would still agree. She'd be lying if she said that invitation didn't give her reservations, however.
どこへだって付き合うわ。
見てろよ、レンのやつ。女の友情は彼氏情報が筒抜けになるって恐怖を教えてやるぜ。
Indeed, Fuji had no idea just how terrifying women could be. They are. Unfortunately. But come morning, he would receive a much-needed reminder. He would learn just how crafty, base, and ungrateful girl he had been compelled to save by his foolish naivety was. Unfortunately. I just fucking knew it. 10 minutes and the chapter ends. I knew that would be like that. 10 out of 13. 4 out of 8. Alright, let's go with the next chapter. Cause Piper is finished.
眠いぞー。
Then go home! Stretching her arms, Kasumi let out a hearty yawn as she stood in front of the school gates the next morning.
やっぱ朝までカラオケオールは無茶だったかな。さすがにちょっと喉が痛いや。
How about you go home then?
ねえ、桜井さんは大丈夫？喉もそうだけど、目がシパシパしない？
She isn't, but that doesn't mean you should not go home.
私は平気。
Kay answered with a shrug. She suddenly was a bit tense, but that had nothing to do with her physically.
見た目細いのにタフだよね。まあ私もこれくらいのだるさなら若さで乗り越えちゃうけどさ。
Okay, Kasumi, don't give me that shit. Go home.
昨べは楽しかったもんね。桜井さんはどんな歌を歌うのかなって思ってたけど、洋楽ばっかりで驚いちゃった。しかもねえ、また行こうよ。
Actually, I wish I could skip that because we've been through this, damn it.
ええ。
Provided a time like that ever came again.
でもさ、なんであんなに英語ペラペラなの？
I don't know. Go home. Oh, yeah, oh, that's true. Kasumi doesn't understand. God damn it.
外国暮らしの方が長かったから。
じゃあ、帰国子女なんだ。
そんなようなものね。
She had to leave Japan for South America before she turned 10. After the war was over there, she moved to USA, then Europe, then Russia, and then she spent the last 2 years going back and forth between Tibet, China, and North Korea. Kasumi's eyes sparkled with admiration as she listened to Kei casually explain her past.
すごい。そんな映画みたいな暮らし、私もしてみたい。
そんなにいいものじゃないわよ。
She had received training from the Divine Vessel in Central America, apart from Spinnen in South of America, when she became self-reliant, then from Wilhelm in North America and Rosalka in Eastern Europe, not Southeast. Rosalka. Maybe Rosalka is from Poland! She made the acquaintance of her comrades all around the world, receiving help from them each. Right, I literally, oh, I forgot to check this. Oh, god damn it. Anyway, I literally forgot. I mean, not forgot, oh my god. I literally need to check the name Rusalka, because I'm really sure there was something about it in Poland. I mean, I know about that, what I'm reading right now. But there was some freaking book in Poland that we needed to read, and there was one about it. Mermaid, you say? Not really true. Oh? Oh? So, Rusalkas were not considered evil before the 19th century. Interesting. But in 19th century they became that. Yeah, well, I guess the influence of Christianity as well. And so on. Who knows? Anyway,
一体何カ国語話せるの？
57.
6か7だけど一箇所に落ち着かなかったからみんな片言よ。
それでもすごいよ。
Kasumi, her eyes glistening with a mixture of surprise and respect, seized Kei's shoulders.
桜井さん、これからは K 様と呼ばせて。テスト前とか私に英語教えてください。レンが言うには私物覚え最悪だからカンニングしろってことなんだけど、そんなの嫌だし。
まあいいけど。
Yeah! Thinking meaningless promise, Kei considered the building in front of him. She wondered what sort of demonic lair would be waiting for them inside. Nothing seemed thought about it from the outside, but she also knew that only the lousy of pinchical parties would ever betray their secrets at a glance. Without going inside, there was no way to tell what could be hiding in there.
行きましょうか。
Shall we not? I mean, you not? She then passed through the gates with Kasumi and entered the school building. And Kei remained vigilant the whole time. It wasn't like she was breaching hostile territory, but entering someone's personal realm was no different from traversing the belly of a monstrous beast. Unless she kept her guard up, the atmosphere of the place alone could melt her away, quite literally.
あれ？なんだろう。これってちょっと。
Deadish. And so this outcome was both incredibly abnormal, but at the same time quite expected. Quiet. No one was there, not even her companion, who had been walking next to her until seconds ago.
綾瀬さん。
Wow, surprise! She had lost her sight of her. Not even a single speck of her presence could be felt. It wasn't like she had forgotten Kasumi's existence, but maybe she had been a little on guard. The fact that she couldn't even notice her disappearance meant that.
まさか。
Kei was no longer thinking about looking for Kasumi. She had no obligation to do so, and it would likely prove to be a fruitless endeavor anyway. The barrier enveloping the school at the moment wasn't merely erected to isolate the school from the outside world. It was a garden of predation, a killing field, another world altogether.
想像。
The third degree of quiet, and it was devouring the school. But who did it belong to? It was a skill that could very well be labeled a trump card, a weapon that very few would even reveal to their comrades. Those who had fought together in the war might have witnessed each other's, but a newcomer like Kei had yet to see any. Logically, it would be natural to assume it was Rusalka's, but that didn't feel right. She felt as if she was being slowly boiled alive, her strength gradually waning with each passing second. She didn't expect to suddenly stumble into creation figment. It was almost as if this was a trap meant to kill her.
遅い朝帰りね、レオン。やっほー、元気？
マレウス。
A surge of confusion shot through Kei's senses as she turned back to see a red-haired girl standing behind her, but she didn't forget to remain ever vigilant. What was going on? Did she lure her here to fight and kill her? Rusaka laughed when she saw Kei trembling with doubt and fury.
落ち着きなさいよ。ここであまり気合い入れると、一瞬で吸い殺されちゃうわよ、あなた。
吸い殺す。
そう。
Rusaka heaved a tired sigh and glanced outside the window, where a dramatic change had occurred. The sun had grown dark and dusky. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, yet the blue sky suddenly gave way for the orange of early evening.
私も迷惑してるのよ。あいつの想像、敵味方関係なしだし。
お前じゃない。
そうよ。見ればわかるでしょ。
The sun set and vanished in the second, turning the world into a realm of eternal light in the blink of an eye. A silver full moon with no regard for the lunar calendar covered the sky with the putrid stench of rot and blood lingering everywhere. Kei spotted black, jolly-looking lumps, likely the remnants of congealed blood and rotten flesh, slithering across the florid walls of the building. It was like the nauseating world of Night Stalker. In that instant, Kei realized the identity of its master. Wilhelm Ehrenburg. This word belonged to him, but then why?
待ちなさい。
Ruska stood still and raised her hand as if communicating to stop before she broke off into a run.
言ったでしょ。ここで野蛮なことを考えちゃダメ。心拍数と血の流れを調節してアドレナリンを抑えなさい。あいつに言わせればせいぜいまずそうな女になるのよ。ここでベイをそそっちゃうと一瞬で食われるわ。
A perplexing remark, but at the very least, it didn't seem like Rusoka meant Kay any harm. Why else would she be telling her how to protect herself?
お前はここをベイに譲ったのか。
そういうわけでもないけど。
Rusoka ran her fingers through her hair in a display of irritation.
私は私で手一杯なの。慣れないことはするもんじゃないわね。
Following Rusoka's gaze, Kay froze in place.
いくら私があなたたちよりキャリアが深いって言ってもね、他人の生物なんてそうそう簡単に扱えないのに。だから自己流でちょっと改造しちゃったけど。
Kay was no longer listening to Rusalka. Her thoughts had come to a complete halt. A giant abomination towered in the yard outside, impassive like a sculpture. Countless shadows bound his arms and legs, connecting back all the way to Rusalka.
まあ操縦はこんな感じ。私じゃバビロンのやってたことの2割もできないから、足りないところは創意工夫でね。でもその代わりメリットだってあるんだよ。この方法なら遠隔操作も可能だし、隙だらけな姿を敵にさらすこともない。
バビロン。
Right, what about her? Kay came back to her senses. While Kay suddenly drew some scans, where did his actual master, Lisa Brenner, disappear to?
あれ？気づいてなかったの？
She opened her eyes in surprise for a slight moment, but then suddenly twisted her features into a malicious smile.
彼女死んじゃったよ。ザミエルが蒸発させちゃったみたい。
No, impossible! She could feel her surroundings suddenly grow dim. Lisa passed away. Lisa was dead. Then what of him? What would happen to him? With their necromancer gone from their ranks, Kane was now little more than another dead body. It would rot, fall apart, and disappear. It was unlikely he could hold out for more than another couple of days.
クリストフは転んでもただじゃ起きない。っていうか、本当に転んだのかどうかもわかんないけど、要は有効利用したいんでしょ。どうせ近々消えると言っても、それまで遊ばせとくのは惜しいからね、あの化け物ちゃん。
She could probably read Kay like an open book from her expression, and so she addressed her in a lightly mocking tone.
まあそんな感じでね、ビッテンブルグ少佐殿がやらかしてくれちゃったから、急な人事異動で困ってるのよ。だから、あなたの遅刻は多めに見てあげるわ。言ったように、私は私で忙しいし、あなたも来てくれたから仕事をあげる。
仕事。
Bewilderment still running amok in her mind, Kay was unable to comprehend Rusalka's words right away, to which the redhead replied with a grimace and a tired sigh.
この子がさ、なんか知んないけど来ちゃったみたいで。
Rahimura, why would she be in a place like this?
冗談じゃない。
All the anger and confusion Kay had been suppressing up until now came bursting to the surface.
あなた何を考えてるの？今ここがどうなっているか。
Did that fool have a refuge? What did she think would happen if she died here?
あるいは自殺しに来たのかもね。
マレウス！
She couldn't help raising her voice at the witch's carefree tone. Rusalka, however, simply waved her away.
まあいいじゃない。面白いわよ。死のうと思って簡単に死ねるほど世の中甘くできてないし。メルクリウスがどれだけ性格悪いやつか、あなたもこの子も分かってないのよ。ハイドリヒ教も含めて、あの二人が死なないって言えば、それは死ねないってのと同じ意味。なんだったら、そこから外に放り投げてみれば？多分大丈夫よ。とは言っても、実際面倒なお荷物ではあるわけで。
Rusalka turned around, leaving Rhea behind.
レオン、 あなたはお姫様のお守りをしなさい。拒否なんか認めないわよ。まったく、クリストフの監視もざるっていうか、何考えてんだか。もしかしてあいつ、わざとその子を行かせたのかもしれないわね。
わざと。
What was that supposed to mean? Rusaka gave Kay a mocking grin.
勘よ勘。長く生きるとね、世の中疑い深くなっちゃうのよ。けどまあ、ともかく、どうであっても、その子はあなたが責任持って管理するのよ。返事はレオン、地産は一昔前じゃ処刑者の失態だって分かってるの？目をつむってあげるんだから、反抗的な態度を取らないでよ、お嬢ちゃん。
わかった。
よろしい。じゃあ若者同士、隅の方で仲良く青春の悩みでも語ってなさいな。私とベイはここでレン君と遊ぶから。
おそらく。
オッケー。じゃあ、状況開始。
Rusaka disappeared in the darkness with a laugh on her lips. Kay glancing at the bird to her left let out a sigh.
何か言いなさいよ。
別に。ただあなた、似合わないわね。こういう。
A sudden impulse knocked the daylights out of the girl. The girl took a hold of Kay, but she managed to contain herself at the last second. She missed her chance to ask what became of Kasumi, but now that she thought about it, that was none of her business, really. Indeed, her fate was redundant. It had nothing to do with Kay. She could already be dead for all she cared. Despite her resolve, an inexplicable sense of anxiety washed over every pore of her body, almost as if trying to tell her that she had done something irrevocable. This in turn frustrated her even further.
藤井君とは会えるかな？
会ってどうするの？
そう。でも久しぶりだから。
久しぶり。ね。
It had only been 3 days since they last saw each other. What was she even talking about?
今日を逃すと、もう会えないような気がしたから。会えるといいな。でも、怖いな。どんな顔をすればいいのか、わかんない。あなたはどう？
別に。
All she could think of was slapping that infuriating fool in the face if she happened to see him here again.
嘘ばっかり。
She wasn't lying. Well, one could say she wished to meet him in a way, just in a completely different sense from the girl. As such, she wasn't scared at all. She was simply frustrated and felt utterly pathetic. She made use of his kindness to lure his beloved friend to this killing field, and lost sight of her right way. If she could at least answer his anger with blade and in hand, to engage him in a battle to death, it would still be something. Yet now, robbed of even that option, she simply had no idea how to handle the emptiness tormenting her heart. She wanted someone, anyone, to punch her till she could stand no more, to punish her for what she'd done, to dispel all the frustration raging within her chest. She just wanted to forget everything and rage, tearing and destroying everything like a wild, senseless beast.
めんどくさい子だね、あなた。
Kay didn't even feel like getting angered by the pitying look the girl was giving her. She simply bit her lip and trembled in humiliation. Chapter 9 Einherjar. It took until morning for me to regain consciousness.
まあまあ、そういつまでも自己嫌悪してないで。ヒーローが色仕掛けに弱いのはお約束でしょ？
I don't remember if previously she was in that uniform. Doesn't matter. She looks great in it. Ever since we left the club to investigate the school premises, Control had been unable to shut her mouth about this.
だから色仕掛けなんか食らってないって言ってるだろ。
じゃあ何食らったの？
Ellie is the best.
それは。
I'm repeating myself here.
言えないような手なら色仕掛けみたいなもんでしょ。
She let out a cackle and patted me on the shoulder. Well, I guess she was right in a sense. I wouldn't exactly call this action, but the logic was the same. God, I wish she could stop talking about it already.
それで彼女らはここに行ったのかな？
多分な。
We stood around the gates of Tsukino so high. I couldn't think of another places where Kasumi and Sakurai could have chosen to go together. I can't believe she kidnapped Kasumi of all people. My chest was awhirl with a tempest of anger, frustration and guilt, but now wasn't the time to wallow in emotions. If Kasumi was here, all I had to concentrate on was saving her and taking enemies out that might stand in my way. Beyond these gates, I would likely be met with a full-blown battlefield.
オッケー。じゃあ行こっか。
As the two came back in the morning and learned of the situation, they actually used rock, paper, scissors to decide who to accompany me on the search for Kasumi. Apparently they had some pressing business to take care of. It required at least one of them. And so Honjo won and tagged along with me. I'd say Shiro was the better option, but I'd be lying. They were both the same, really.
どうした？この格好かわいい？
Yeah. It was just, well, why'd she have my exclusive uniform anyway?
月額の制服はマニアックで有名だからさ。入手経路はいろいろあるのよ。
A bunch of ways to end up at the pressing, more like Amantes as Honjo began fiddling with her skirts, flashing her underwear in my direction. My god, I wanna be there.
知らねえぞ。そんな薄手のひらひら着ててどうなっても。
アクションでパンツ見えるくらい、私気にしないし。
俺もパンツなんかどうでもいいけど。それ、隠す場所がないだろ。バレバレすぎるぞ。
A huge revolver had been tucked accordion to one of her knee socks. I didn't know much about guns and couldn't tell exactly what kind it was, but it definitely didn't seem like something a girl should be waving around.
堂々としてれば意外と誰も気にしないもんだって。それからこの制服かわいいのはいいけど、やっぱ寒いね。デザイン。
知るか。興味ない。
Honjo slid a finger through the hole in her New York shoulder area and began shaking to over-exaggerate the coldness of the weather. I had enough of her antics by that point. It was hard to tell if she was full of spite or just relied on her curvy attitude to dispel the tension, but no amount of playfulness would help us past this point.
お前、本当にいいんだな。
さっき OK って言ったでしょ。
Well, finally was what she wanted, and so be it. I knew I needed to watch her back. She being Shiro's woman and all, but I only had one pair of arms and no means of cloning myself. My job was to fight, not guard her. Only I had a chance against either Sakurai or Salka. In short, Honjo's job would be to survey the area and look for Kasumi.
わかってるって。私はシロよりまだ何歩か常識あるよ。
I really hope that was the case. It'd have a pretty big problem if it wasn't.
はい、手出して。
She raised a hand at her chest level. Understanding what she was meaning to do, I gave her a fist and nudge with my own. Or at least I tried to.
いやチン。
Oh. The hell did she retract her hand for? I ended up ramming my fist into her breasts.
いい思いして。気合入ったでしょ。
Well, it would work on me.
つーか気合が抜ける。
じゃあうまい具合にリラックスしたと考えよう。女のおっぱいは偉大。
I know, right? She truly is the best.
でかい声でわめくな。
無事帰ったら生乳。
Can I take your place there?
黙れセクハラ女。
Already you are a weirdo. God damn. And so, with her probably trying to cheer me on, we passed through the gates. At that moment... I don't even know how to describe it. I felt as if we passed through a warm membrane of some sort. I felt my body instantly grow heavier and had trouble breathing. What the hell was going on here? I shook my head, hoping to get this sudden lightheadedness away as Honjo addressed me from behind.
レン君、あれ見て。
I turned around to see the giant disc of a full moon hanging in the sky. Its ominous reddish light pierced through my skin like needles. I shuddered from the cold, feeling inexplicable exhaustion take a hold of my body. More importantly,
なんで 夜に。
Honjo dangled her wrist in front of my eyes. The watch on it said 8:30 a.m.
今日は満月の日じゃないのにね。
And not at that hour. I guess.
ここは夜で月が丸い。多分いつでも。待って。
Honjo grasped my hand as I tried to take a step back outside through the gates.
やめた方がいい。わかんないけど、出て戻れなかったらどうすんの？
Exactly. That would be a problem.
No.
Yeah, see, she's pretty smart. Very smart. Yeah, she was right. No matter how we looked at it, there was something wrong with this place. It probably wouldn't be let me leave. And even if I did, not being able to come back, would be even worse.
外側からじゃ何も変わってなかったのにね。
The world changed the moment we took a step through the gates. A dark night enveloped us in the middle of an early morning.
心当たりある？
No, I never knew it was even possible to call something like this. If I had something to liken it to, then it seemed kind of equivalent to the beach that marked Wildin's only manifesting in the reward. How could one even do such a thing? Nothing made sense to me in here.
悪い。役立たずだ。
そう。でもまあ、悲観しないで。
Honjo gave me a smile as she patted me on the back. I couldn't see the usual carefreeness in that curl of the lips, but just managing to force a confident face in a place like this was already quite an achievement as far as I was concerned. She was no damsel in distress material.
死ぬの生きるの人生劇場を見て育ったからね。多少のことじゃビビんないよ。レン君は平気？
ああ、俺は大丈夫。
Probably. This inexplicable exhaustion was a bit of a problem, for I had no idea what was going on, but I felt dizzy and short of breath, as if I'd suddenly been brought to the summit of a large mountain or something. Both my hands and feet had grown numb. I wasn't even sure if I could form a proper fist.
歯をこうやって口から息してゆっくりだけど規則正しく。あとはそうだね、切れないこと。心拍数上げるとやばいよ。
I obeyed her calm voice. I didn't know if her suggestion would be any use, but everybody's taking a brief breath made me calm down and so. They said that the positive value was the best medicine after all.
行くぞ。
はいな。
And so we stepped into the shroud of darkness waiting for us beyond the door. I was prepared for battle. I couldn't say I got used to either killing others or risking my own life, but I could at least face it as an inescapable fact. Still, this situation seemed far worse than I had ever imagined. I had a very bad feeling about this, cast me. I felt as if there was more dread and despair waiting for me beyond those doors and anything I had lived through till this point.
さーて、こりゃどこ行っても同じだね。
We explored the school, thoroughly investigating each room, from the first floor to the fourth. The place remained shrouded in darkness, without a single ray of light finding its way inside. I felt just as exhausted as before, with my strength slowly seeping out of my body, as if being siphoned out by some invisible power. Still, there was one thing we luckily managed to discover.
とりあえず、さっきはありがとな、本庄。
まあ、私のここはちょっと敏感だからね。
Huh? She pointed at her nose and made a wry smile. If she hadn't told me to breathe through my mouth, I might have already been done far by this point. The black jelly-like things littering around were remnants of blood and flesh that seemed to have been rotting here for hundreds of years. Even before I'd begun breathing through my mouth, their disgusting smell was turning my brain to mush. I probably would have gone insane the moment I took a lungful of this rotten air through my nose.
ブラド・ツェペス・ドラクル公。500年前のルーマニアの王様は、オスマントルコと戦争した時、捕虜を何千人も串刺しにして、国の街路にさらしたらしいよ。しかも当時のトランシルバニアは、きっとこんなんだったんだろうね。そりゃあブラムストーカーもネタにするわ。
100 exact spell down, but surely had a guess at who was responsible for this. And so die, of course. And a fool realized the nature of this place upon staying foot inside. The school had transformed into a vicious hunting ground for a beast ruled by an aggressive, insatiable lust for flesh, a demonic paradise of blood, its only spectator the full moon perched into its skies of eternal darkness. And who else would the lord of a realm like this than a vampire? In other words, yeah. He was here, so this time I had to prepare not only for Sakurai and Rosalka, but for him as well. And I had the feeling he was the most dangerous of them all.
まあ言ったね。私あいつが苦手なんだよ。
She ruffled her hair.
なんていうか、単純に怖い。得体が知れないのは神父だし、ギャップが気持ち悪いのはルサルカで、強いと思うのは死体野郎だけどさ。あいつはこう、うまく言えないけど、向かい合うと緊張するじゃん。
同感だ。
That psycho was an amalgamation of malice and raw bloodlust, making him in battle meant to fight to death with no alternatives. As such, no petty tricks would work on the game. I didn't even mean Honjo, who had yet to find a weapon that could be effective against them. Even for me, who was still inferior as far as sheer strength and experience were concerned, Quickham was likely the worst opponent to fight. We couldn't possibly beat him in straight fight, yet it didn't seem like he did another kind.
こりゃあ、かすみちゃんを早いとこ引っさらって逃げた方がいいかもよ。桜井ちゃんから聞いた話じゃ、戦場にならないとスワスチカは開かないんでしょ？
そうだが。
However, there was one thing I couldn't get out of my mind.
本当にここには俺たちしかいないと思うか？
え？
そうあってほしいとは思うし、そうでなきゃ最悪だけど、最近は楽観主義ができなくなってな。
Their main objective might indeed have been to lure and fight us here. But what if he said to ignore them? Would they just sit here for days, waiting for us? I couldn't imagine them being so ludicrous.
俺が来ても来なくても、どうなろうと対処できるようにするのが普通だろう。ビルヘルムはそんなこと考えなくても、ルサルカは。
I could imagine such a detail escaping that sly bitch. If this place didn't become a battlefield, she'd just turn it into execution grounds.
なるほどね。でもざーっと回ってみた結果、人っ子一人いなかったよ。
ここが普通の場所に見えるか？
いや、全然。もしかしたら忍者屋敷並みの仕掛けが働くかもしれないし。例えば壁の中、天井裏とか地面の下とか？
それとも目に映る景色を実際とは違うように歪めて見せることができるとしたら。
Then they might as well have been hiding the 500 students of this school somewhere out of our sight.
けど確かめる方法はない。
答えがわからないなら、用だけ済ませて逃げるわけにもいかない。
ジーザス。さあ困った。
いきなり攻撃してくる気配もないしな。
For it also made me curious why would Wilhelm let us run free inside a place that might as well have been his belly. Was he waiting for something? But what else was there? Was it a trap or a gunshot to signal the start of battle?
こっちから探ったりはできないの？
さっきからやろうとはしてるんだけどな。
Sensing another killing intent or the impending storm after the calm was far beyond my capabilities. If it was what he wanted to know, my senses might have grown keener, but I was still not much for war-trained soldiers, one of whom I was trying to find now. However, giving up was not an option.
少し真剣にやってみる。しばらく話しかけないでくれ。
了解。じゃあ周り見てるから集中して。
When things were peaceful, all she did was joke around. But now that things had taken a turn for the series, she seemed both collected and quick on her feet. No wonder she saw something in her. Hey, no wonder I saw something in her as well. She was a fine woman. I know.
全部型がついたら飯でもおごるよ。
私、割と舌が肥えてるよ。
大病院の院長令嬢だもんな。
I gave her an ironic smile before closing my eyes to focus my senses. Oh animals had a sense of territory, and humans were no exception. Anyone would feel uncomfortable with someone they didn't like invaded their personal space. Just like how people prefer to sit a few seats apart in cafeteria, or how they choose their rounds furthest away from those occupied. They would have always incautiously tried to maintain distance from their kin whenever I could, and apparently it was young men who needed the most personal space. That was about me, what constituted my usual territory. I couldn't tell if it was a good or bad thing, but I felt quite certain of the fact that I needed more personal space than most. I mean, Casimir had already called me asocial, and I barely had any friends. No wonder I disliked anyone being close to me. As I closed my eyes, I could feel it with my skin. Honjo stayed next to me, not even a meter apart. I could sense her breathing, heartbeat, and mental state. I widened the radius further. 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. My territory extended like a sphere, both to the left and right, up and down. I created my own pocket world inside Wilhelm's realm. His will, of course, resisted my intrusion, and my realm extended at a snake's pace at best, but I could still feel the area of my perception widen. And so...
どうした
Honjo eyed me as I jerked my head up. My sudden movements must have surprised her, but right now I felt more astounded than her.
先輩。
ん
氷室先輩がいる。
それは本当に
気のせいじゃない。
She was on the third floor right below us. We must have checked that room just a couple of minutes ago and I found it empty, yet I could sense her quite clearly over there now. There was just no way I could mistake her for someone else. She was one of the first people I cared about just as much as me, if not even more.
一人
わからねえ。
I spotted her only because she was a regular person. I extended my senses, which weren't even that keen to begin with, to wide areas, so I doubted I could detect any of those warmongers unless they themselves wished to be found.
けど、無事ではいると思う。
She seemed calm and self-possessed, her head held in the clothes, as usual. In the case, it didn't feel like she was either fleeing from someone or being confined. As such, there was only one thing to do.
行くぞ本長。あの人を確保する。
Why was she here? How was she related to those maniacs? This wasn't exactly the best time for long-winded discussions, but I also couldn't just abandon her.
私らを連れ去ってことはないのかな
Yeah, I could guess that much myself. The possibility was high, and asking into a heap of trouble even higher. Nonetheless,
俺は行くぞ。誰がなんて言っても。
はいはい。私も行ってみただけ。
we gave each other a nod and dashed through the corridor, jumped down the stairs to the third floor in a single leap.
で、どこ
I raised my hand and pointed at one of the rooms in silence.
4組。
俺のクラスだ。
Mine and Kasumi's and Shiro's and Sakurai's and Rosalka's.
そりゃまた随分と濃いメンツで。
I bet she'd feel just at home in it. The school was the closest place I had to normal life, and also the first of my safe heavens to be destroyed. Just a group of 40 or so students laughing and getting angry at each other, standing and falling off, chatting playground. The kind of peaceful, boring daily life you could come across practically everywhere. I'd hope I could live out the rest of my life surrounded by that mundane bliss. It was abruptly and cruelly taken from me. The door opened with a repulsive creak, revealing a certain girl.
藤井くん。
Rahimura, once our senior in school, but now a tiny ticking bomb whose position all this I still couldn't quite discern. Depending on her answers, I might end up having to find her as well. My thoughts gave way for sheer anxiety as I saw her, prompting me to let my guard down.
No.
And god damn it, guess who else is here? Sakurai. I would have been like if I set my foot in freeze when I saw her emerge from the classroom after Himura. If she had attacked me right then, I would have been dead in an instant.
いやー、桜井ちゃん。私に何の断りもなく帰るなんてひどいじゃない。
Honjo took a step forward with a smile, as if trying to cover me while I was still dumbfounded. Her voice betrayed no hint of surprise or anxiety. She likely expected there to be someone watching over Himura.
私はそっちの先輩と面識ないし、彼よりだいぶ薄情だからね。餌は食っても釣られやしないよ。 で、お二人さんはここで何をしてるのかな？
あなた、誰？
エリーと申しますです。テレジア先輩。この場はユサ四郎の名代と思ってちょうだい。
ユサくんの？彼は元気？
元気は元気だけど、あいつはあいつでいろいろね。まあ近いうち合わせるよ。それで
She turned her gaze to Sakurai as I too finally came back to my senses.
悪いな本庄。もう大丈夫だ。
うん、気にしない。そこがレン君のいいところ。
I took a step forward, letting Honcho step back instead. With Sakurai in this place, it was a bad idea to let her stand in the front unprotected.
先輩は、まあ、後で話そう。とりあえず無事そうで安心しました。
藤井くんも。
それで、桜井。
The emotions I've been suppressing up until now erupted all at once, filling my eyes with rage. Even my consideration for Himura and Honjo could stop me from staring daggers at Sakurai. To tell the truth, my blood had been boiling since last night. I was frustrated with my own naivete, my own stupidity, as well as the woman who dared kidnap Kasumi from right under my nose.
あいつはどこだ桜井。答えないと。
Kill you right here and now. I might have grown to know her better during these past few days, but my anger at the moment far outweighed any sympathy I might have built for her. I ignored Himura's bemused stare. Honjo must have said something as well, but I paid no attention to it. My gaze remained fixated on Sakurai and her alone, depending on her answer I might very well attack her right here and now. Therefore,
ごめんなさい。
her words left me surprised. I forgot my anger for a moment.
ここであなたに答えられたらいいんだけど、今の私はそれもできない。笑ってちょうだい。今日この場の戦いから私は弾かれてしまったの。あなたの気持ちに応えられない。
それは。
What the hell was she talking about? She lost her will to fight me all of a sudden? What the fuck? That wasn't my problem.
殺されるわけにはいかないけど、それ以外なら何をしてもいいわよ。
What do you mean? No, sorry, I'm choosing Kali.
あなたの気が済むのなら何だって。
まあ待った。
Honjo grasped my shoulder with a firm hand as I was about to blow up in rage and frustration.
仮にも女の子ちゃんが何してもいいとか言うのはどうかって話は置いといて、あんたまだ彼の質問に答えてないね。かすみちゃんはどこ？私同性の友達少ないからあの犬っぽい子が気に入ってるんだけど。
それは
Sakurai fixed her eyes on the floor and fell silent. After a few seconds, she suddenly jerked her head up again.
知らない。私は綾瀬さんがどこにいるかなんて聞かれても答えられない。
ここにいないのか？
いいえ、ついさっきまで一緒にいた。でも知らないうちにいなくなった。今のここは私の感覚が及ぶ世界じゃないの。
So, Honjo being quicker on her feet, voiced my thoughts before I could.
ビルヘルムだね。
ええ。さっき私はあなたたちに見つけられやすいようにしただけ。レイが隠す気になっているなら、隠されたものはここにいる限り誰にも探せない。
なんであいつが霞を隠す？
わからないわよ。
その注意殿はどこに？
わからない。いいえ。
Sakurai slowly looked around.
今はこの学校自体が彼。どこにでもいるし、どこからでも出てくる。私たちの位置も会話も全て筒抜けになってるはずよ。
吸血鬼の腹の中ね。どうするレン君。あんたは桜井ちゃんを締め上げたいだろうけど、そういう状況でもそれで肩がつくわけでもなさそうな感じだよ。
わかってる。
I swore never to trust the jackass again, but it really didn't seem like she was lying this time. In any case, our main objective here wasn't to teach her a lesson, as much as I wished it was.
もうお前のことなんかどうでもいい。やる気がないならどこかその辺で寝てろ。
そうな。
She grimaced, but as I said before, I was beyond caring. I had to find where Kasumi was, and then...
先輩、今のここに他の。
それは。
Her eyes went as I seized her by the shoulders, pulling her close.
教えてくれ先輩。他の生徒はいるのかいないのか。
She looked away from me and fell silent, ignoring my question. That wasn't it. That was actually her way of answering it.
俺は。
I followed her gaze outside, where I could see one silhouette after another pop up in the yard. Faces both familiar and new, both guys and girls, had run from my ear.
始まる。
Sakura's voice felt distant. I could tell there were about 200 people in the yard by now. Some were dressed in uniforms, some in casual clothes, and some even in pajamas. All of them seemed completely out of it.
かすみちゃんは
I couldn't. I think I looked through everyone over there and she didn't seem to be among them. With her there or not, this certainly didn't seem like a good sign.
見て、あれ。
Honjo's voice rang uncharacteristically urgent. I followed her finger with my gaze to see a giant frame looming in the center of the yard, with students surrounding it, a giant monster, if I'd ever seen one.
カイン。
If that thing was here, that it means Sister Lisa was also around.
ダメだ。もう遅い。
Honjo's voice trailed off. Sakura looked away, while humor simply shivered in my grasp. I merely gazed at the spectacle before me, completely dumbfounded. There was simply nothing I could do from here. Kane swung the giant lump of metal in his hands, much like in the club. It erupted in purple lightning, swallowing 100 or so students in a blink of an eye, leaving nothing but bloody smoke and burnt flesh in their place. Himura wrapped her hands around my neck and pressed against me to block my vision, as if thinking she could escape the sniper by merely refusing to acknowledge its existence. But it was late. Her frame was much too small to cover my eyes. And it's not like I haven't seen that, right? Before. Some of the pieces of meat and entrails of what used to be my schoolmates were flung so hard they reached down to the third floor, splattering against the window in front of us. I could make out a severed hand, and a piece of leg stuck against the window frame. The red mush was probably remains of someone's heart, and the thing that looked like a blown-up balloon must have been a lung. I went spotted a jaw, an eyeball, a torn-off scalp, with her still clinging to it as well as half-face, all destroyed beyond recognition. They all gave me condemning looks. Why didn't you come here earlier? Wow, so bastard like you in our school anyway. If you had never been around, I know. We would never have ended up like this.
Oh.
I could practically hear my mind crumble. My whole world was falling apart. My day-to-day life, a place for me to return to. Why did a depraved fool like me ever delude himself into thinking he could protect them? Sheer frustration made my tears flow, and I was unable to stop them. I'd barely even known the faces of those massacred students. And that weighed the heaviest upon my soul. It felt like an insult to their memory.
Kain!
I shoved him aside and rubbed my face in the window glass, yet I lacked the strength to even shatter something as thin as that. The window remained intact, as if mocking me for being completely powerless, as if telling me I could never save anyone, that I was just another sacrifice brought here to rot and be turned into sludge. I let out a deafening scream from the very bottom of my heart, cursing the name of my mortal enemy. I'd make him claim I'd kill him, Kane too, and the priest, and Rusalka, and then Sakurai, and that accursed Sister Lisa as well.
てめえら俺とやりたいなら買ってやる。つまらねえ雑魚殺して越に行ってんじゃねえぞ腰抜け野郎。いい度胸だ。
The temperature around us suddenly shot 10 or so degrees down. A whole regiment of scornful laughs, a short snort, a chuckle, a guffaw, and the whole reverberated across the walls, merging into one continuous fit of maniacal laughter. And beneath it, the vilest, most genuine lust for another blood.
せいぜい食い出のある生きのいい餌になれや。
It was about to start. Wilhelm had yet to unveil the true face of his realm. Thus far, it had merely been playground, but in this moment,
枯れ落ちる恋人、死骸を晒せ。私の愛で朽ちるあなた、私だけが知っているか。
his voice reverberated in the night. The third stage of Eggkite, I wasn't taught about it by anyone, but I could still feel it and comprehend its terror on my skin.
ローゼン・カバリエ・シュバルツバルド。
An overwhelming sense of exhaustion washed over me, one more intense than thing I'd ever experienced before. I could barely breathe, let alone stand. A vampire night ready to drain the very life from all the their adventure into his realm. Such was the nature of Wilhelm's.
想像だ。さあ、どうするよ、小僧。
His ever-amplifying willpower summoned a crimson veil to blanket the area. Cracks ran all across the ceiling and walls, with even inanimate objects having their life force drained.
本庄
It was instinct alone that made me muster the last of my strength to leap with a scream. A hollow swarm of stakes suddenly shot out of gaping cracks currently surrounding us.
先輩
Had I not managed to grab the two confused girls and dive out of harm's way, she would have been scared like a pig. Were inside his belly, I had long since lost count of the number of stakes that appeared, all lasting for our blood. Was it thousands, hundred thousands? Nah. They sprouted tens of thousands, the thorns of nightmare rose.
動けるか
まだなんとか。
よしだったら
I had more resistance against this war than Conjure Himura, so it was obviously me who should have fought him, but what of Cain? Cain, goddammit. Himura shivered in my arms. In the boundless force of ballistics, I could make out remnants of bones and scraps of cloth hanging from their tips. Among them I recognized some of pieces of our school's uniform.
足りねえよ、小僧。マリウスが集めたの300年。それっぽっちの劣等じゃ俺の腹は膨れねえ。ここのスワスチカは開かねえ。やるんだろ？買ってくれるんだろ、戦争を。退屈させんな、色男。てめえの面はあいつに似すぎて、そこの女どもやりたくなるぜ。
Well, those words would basically invoke the power inside of me. I would kill him. I would kick his ass.
霞は
In an attempt to drown out his ridiculous cackle with a roar of my own, I asked him the most important question of them all.
霞は一体どこにいるお前がさらったのかビルヘルム
Oh, I remember, where is she? Laughter was all the answer for me. You must have been getting a kick out of observing my rage from a place I couldn't reach. I suppressed my anger. Now, wasn't that for emotions? Wilhelm, the bastard who snatched Kasumi out of Sakurai's hands without the latter even realizing it, refused to clarify whether or not she was okay. In other words, there was still hope.
わかるな本庄
おおよそはね。
I didn't need to give her careful instructions. She was smart enough to figure things out just by looking at my face. Yet, infuriatingly enough, Wilhelm was just as quick-witted.
選べや小僧。上か下か。どっちと戦う？どっちを助ける？どれを選んでも構わねえぞ。
The window glass shattered, taking the whole frame with the impact, opening the path to the yard, and so I made my choice.
信じてるぞ本庄
まあ、期待に添えるよう頑張るよ。
Only I could stop Cain at this point, and as unfortunate as that would be, it didn't matter if I left Wilhelm alive as long as I could save the remaining students at Kasumi. It was race against the clock, both for Honjo and myself. The longer we tarried, the more of our life force Wilhelm would devour. In the case, I couldn't just let Cain slaughter everyone, so my choice was clear.
ルサルカには気をつけろあいつもきっとどこかにいるそれから
I stopped in front of the crumpled Himura and looked in her eyes. I found her face and one of my few friends. I was dumb and naive, so I had no clue what sort of position she was in or what she was thinking, but my words and actions were probably driving her further and further into the corner. At the moment, I just want to put my thoughts into words.
俺は先輩も信じてる。
I muttered that, then wrapped my arms around her slender figure.
先輩が好きだ。大事な人だからなくしたくない。
What? Where did that come from?
俺は何も知らないし、わからないけど、だからもっと話したいし、一緒にいたいと思ってる。
藤井くん。
これが終わったら、俺たちと帰ろう。先輩はこんなところにいちゃダメだ。
私。
I stood up, interrupting her words, as though the answer control whose face seemed to have flashed pink for some reason.
こういうこと言う場合じゃないのは分かってるけど、一つ忠告をさせてよ、レン君。
忠告？
The hell? Did she come up with some new search against those by hot rod?
あんた、天性の女ったらし。あんまり今みたいなこと、誰にでもポンポン言うもんじゃないってば。
The hell was that supposed to mean?
誰にでも言ってるわけじゃねえぞ。
The only other people I might say stuff like that would be Kasumi, Marin, well, probably Honjo too. 100% sure.
気に入ってるやつにしか言わない。
いや、だから、そういうことじゃなくてさ。
I had no idea what she was talking about, but Himura still held onto my sleeve and regarded me with stunned eyes.
もう、絶対勘違いされるよ、これ。私どうなってもしんないからね。
Yeah, whatever. I placed my hand on Honjo's shoulder and looked her in the eye again.
かすみと先輩は任せる。
オッケー。了解。
I wasn't sure what to think about her casual tone. Either way, once I caught myself, I shot an angry skull at the curtain of stakes covering the floor and the walls. I could sense Wukong laughing at us from beyond the veil. I wasn't going to forgive him, and I'd definitely make him pay for this immensely. But I had more important matters to take care of now. We'll find out what exactly is that in the next episode, so for now, hope you enjoyed it, and see you then. Bye bye.